G'day and welcome back to Vibing Out. As always, I'm your host, Robert Jackson. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to have on two Perth artists showing a lot of their talent through the industry here in Perth. We have Jodee Bibaeff and Daniel Elsegood. They're going to show us, talk a little bit about their contributions to the industry. Now, before we welcome our first guest, let's have a quick look at some of Jodee's work.
Are you sure you actually saw him? You did just wake up from a coma, remember? Everyone remember. We all show respect here. Go on, Aaron. What happened next? What are you hoping to get from here, Aaron? A solution?
Okay. Thank you for joining us, Jodee. Please give up a warm welcome for Jodee for joining us here today. Thanks for chatting with us. Now,
Thanks.
I have a few questions here, but my first question, of course, you've probably heard it before. Did I say your surname right?
It's actually Bibaeff, which
Bibaeff.
is nothing at all like what it looks like.
Right.
And I specifically remember when me and my husband got married and we were saying our vows. We said them in English and in Spanish. And I remember him saying, "Welcome to spelling your last name for the rest of your life."
Right.
Which I don't imagine you have a problem with
Jackson.
Rob Jackson.
No,
It's kind of,
no, it's not too bad. But I can't remember how I said it now then. I'm just wondering, I think I said Bibaeff.
Bibaeff. Most people is Bibaeff, Bibiff.
Bibaeff, right.
Yeah.
But it's
Bibaeff.
Bibaeff.
Yes.
Okay, so I was close, but not
Pretty close.
quite.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you said that you said your vows in Spanish.
We did,
Why was
yes.
that?
So Bibaeff is a Russian last name, but Eric's mother is Mexican, and they have this really rich Spanish culture. And when we got married over here and his family couldn't attend, we wanted to do something that was going to, pay homage to that. So we got married on the 5th of May, which is Cinco de Mayo,
Yep.
which is a huge Spanish Mexican celebration over there.
Right.
And we had like tacos and burritos and wedding piñatas, and my daughter had flowers through her hair like they do in Spain. And yeah, it was amazing. So.
Well, and your daughter has a very unusual name as well.
She
Is that correct?
does, yeah. So when I was 18, I followed my sister over to Melbourne to live. And I fell unexpectedly pregnant over there. And as I was sort of shopping on Toorak Road and having coffees in Paran, I was developing this love of the city and this love of this, growing baby. So when she was born a girl, I called her Melbourne after the city.
Oh, wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
And speaking of names, there's another strange name to pronounce is Pran. When I first got over to Melbourne, I was going Pran, and they're going, wow, a little bit posh, aren't you? But when I first read it, it looks like
Prayhan.
Prayhan.
Yeah.
And I was reading it going Prayhan, and they're going, no, that's not right.
No, that's
so in the end, I was saying Pran,
Pran.
because that's
It's Aussie,
pretty much.
yeah.
Now your daughter inspired your business name as well. Is that correct?
She did, yeah. So I moved back to Perth when I was about 8 months pregnant, and I'd been working for this digital agency in Melbourne that was amazing, and we're doing all this marketing stuff. And when I came back to Perth, no one over here was doing all of the awesome stuff that we'd been doing in Melbourne. So I decided to start my own digital agency. Never run a business before, never had a baby before, but decided to do both at the same time.
Right.
And
just to challenge
just
yourself, right?
And so I'm on the phone to the guy setting up my ABN.
Yes.
And he goes, "Okay, well, that's great. I've set it all up for you. What do you want your business name to be?" And I had no idea. I hadn't thought of this, so I just looked down and I was like, Bump Media.
Classic. Bump Media.
Yeah.
All right, it's a great name.
It's
so what does
cute.
Bump Media do?
Marketing, like all digital and online marketing. We build websites, we do social media. I get to spend all day on Facebook and Instagram doing, posts for clients, and
fantastic.
it's amazing. I love my job.
So you're setting up websites for
Yeah,
clients?
exactly.
Okay.
So I do all their online marketing, like from one-man mowing businesses to huge multinational companies. I used to do Huey's Cooking Adventures and
Right.
Aeroplane Jelly and Keen's Mustard, stuff like that. So,
Right.
yeah.
I remember Huey's cooking.
You remember
adventures.
him?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of older fans he had.
Yep.
So there was a lot of how do I reset my password type things. If you
Right.
know what I mean,
Yeah.
'cause
True.
he had an older audience.
Yeah. Right. I remember people like Peter Russell Clark. Do you ever remember that name?
I do,
Years
actually.
ago,
Yeah.
Used to say "g'day" a lot.
G'day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his blooper reels had a lot more words than "g'day" in it. Now you've got some acting credits yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a stretch. Yeah. I call it acting by proxy.
Right.
My husband's actually the actor, and he won a Finley Award earlier this year.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, and he's amazing. But when he started his Bachelor of Film, his passion for the industry is really infectious, and I couldn't help but get caught up in it. So I started out doing a little bit of producing, and then some editing, and then acting in a few short films.
Fantastic.
So,
How did you find that? Did you enjoy that?
oh, I loved it. I think it's so awesome seeing. I do prefer, I think, probably to be on the crew side than the cast,
Right.
but I've loved it. And it's nothing on. I don't know if you know, but I went and saw Merry Wives of Windsor when you were in that.
Oh, right, classic.
And oh my gosh, I've never seen a Shakespeare play live.
Yep.
You guys say more words in one play than I've said in my whole life.
There's a lot of dialogue.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
monologues and
absolutely.
dialogue. It's crazy.
And it's interesting when it comes to Shakespeare. Did you find if you listen to every word, you kind of get lost. If you let it sort of flow over you, it's okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh well, that was my first Shakespeare play, to be
Was
honest.
it?
Yeah.
Well, you did amazing.
Oh, thank you very much.
Amazing.
Now, you. So, what are your? When it comes to film, do you have favourite films? A list of films that you a go-to film?
I love female roles. Like Erin Brockovich is probably my favourite
Great film.
movie, and
Yeah,
I love
fantastic.
Julia Roberts. Still Magnolias. Oh, love it.
Yeah,
Cry
another good
every
film.
time. Every time.
She is amazing.
She's the best.
Yeah, she just lights up the screen.
Doesn't she?
It's incredible. Yeah,
Yeah.
Erin Brockovich is definitely on the list of films
love it.
for me as well. So if you had, let's say you got a role in a major Hollywood film,
Sure.
what would be the ideal role for you?
I'd love to be directed by Catherine Bigelow. I'd literally do anything that she asked me to do. I just adore her as a director, and I would play any role that Margot Robbie has ever played.
She's
love
good too.
her. Isn't she amazing?
Yeah, she's so powerful.
Yeah,
And,
for an Australian actress, she's, amazing.
Yeah, and so did you enjoy The Hurt Locker then?
Yes. Yes.
That's
and
what she won the award for, right?
Yes, and it was like ages after. When it went to its first film festival, it was passed up. No one wanted to touch it.
No way. Is
Yeah,
that right? I
and then
didn't know
it was
that.
like a year later that she won the Oscar and everything. It was crazy.
She beat her ex-husband.
She did.
Because he had Avatar up. Is that
Yes.
right? That's right. Yeah.
Girl power.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love James Cameron as well.
Yeah, I'm a fan as well. But I thought her film was brilliant. The Hurt Locker was amazing,
unreal.
and it was good to see a film like that win up against such a big sci-fi film.
Definitely,
like
and
Avatar.
budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had
for sure.
next to no budget.
And she's done quite a few since then, though. Is there another film that is well known from her?
Obviously, she did Point Break. So
Right, Point Break.
and that that wasn't out of her. I had to say I love all her classics as well.
Yeah. Point Break's a good old film as well.
Can't go past.
It's kind of a go-to film for me as well.
Yeah.
Okay, now if somebody would like to cast you or hire you and put you into one of their films, how do they find you?
Well, I'm on Instagram as Jodee Bibaeff.
Bibaeff. Right.
And for Bump Media, I'm on Facebook as Bump Media.
Oh, fantastic.
So, yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Find me there.
All right, so it's quite easy to find you. Awesome. Now, let's give a warm welcome to Jodee for joining us here. Thank you very much for joining us and answering those questions.
Thank you.
It's not so painful, was it?
It wasn't too bad.
Now, we're going to be giving a warm welcome to our next guest, Daniel. But first of all, we're going to go over to see a clip here of the band that's coming up. Oh, so we're going to see Daniel first. We're going to see a quick clip of Daniel beforehand, the notorious Daniel Elsegood. We're going to see a quick clip, so please enjoy this first.
Stop! Don't do it! Any other option? Why do you have no other option?
Okay, thanks for talking to us, guys. Now, Daniel, welcome to the couch.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. It's always good to get people on, and especially just talking to Jodee, then it's good to get an insight into people in the industry. So I'll start. Well, I've got a few questions here for
sure,
you.
no worries.
Can you please, what's your history in the Perth film and theatre industry?
Well, it kind of started, like obviously doing early kind of childhood and high school drama and stuff like that. But since then, kind of after being at Whopper and stuff like that, doing a little bit of study here and there, going to the Actors Hub as well, a couple of different schools around Perth. I got picked up by Now Actors, who still represent me, that kind of thing. And since then, been involved in a few different projects, like generally speaking, plays and that kind of thing. The most notably being 52 Hertz, which I did for 2019 Fringe, and then also did that a tour around WA and stuff like that. But besides that, just kind of been auditioning around for different kinds of TV ads and that kind of thing. Was in a RAC campaign and stuff like that once, which was did do pretty well. RAC is a pretty good one to get around here. But,
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I'm trying to, I haven't done too many projects in the last maybe 6 or so months in Perth. I have actually been over in Canada in that time. I'm just back for the last couple of months, but COVID happened and here I am. So hopefully
Into lockdown we went.
Yeah, lockdown we went. So hopefully get another chance to do some more projects in Perth.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you enjoy the Fringe show that you were doing?
Oh, absolutely. It was a big kind of deal for me because I've done it the last sort of 2 years touring around and stuff like that. Did tour under Circuit West and under our director Terrence Smith. And yeah, it got nominated for Best Theatre that year at Fringe, and also for Best New Works at the Performing Arts Awards last year. So it was a really kind of really good project to be a part of, and probably the best kind of staged production I've ever been a part of. So,
and we're pretty good over here. Perth Fringe has really taken off. Do you find that? And you said you went to Canada as well. You were in Canada for how long?
I was there for about 5 months. I moved. It was kind of like my big move, I kind of done a bit of work, kind of created my resume a little bit, and so that was the kind of next step to go over there and look into film acting and stuff like that, because there's a big industry in Vancouver.
I heard in Vancouver. They made a couple of years ago. They made more film in Vancouver than LA because
absolutely.
They have a better tax break, or it's just easier to make.
It's cheaper and easier to go over there, and there's a lot of projects going on. So it was a kind of an opportunity to kind of get myself into one step into that sort of industry. But yeah, so got cut short because I probably just needed to be home for the time being, keep mum happy and stuff like that. But it was a great experience, and I'm sure I'll be back there again.
Yep, fantastic. So you will go back as soon as you can, as soon as we can travel the planet?
As soon as everything's kind of settled down and I can kind of go there and do the work that I want to do, I'll make the trek back. Yep,
fantastic. Now, do you prefer theatre or film?
All my kind of acting experience has been in theatre, but I have a really big passion for film, for watching film. I would say that I'm more, if you ask me, do you want to go to this play or do you want to go see this new movie? I'll probably go to the movie or something like that. But I do have a big passion for theatre, but I feel like film and television is something I want to get into in the future. That's kind of my goal at the moment.
Absolutely, and they're both such different mediums, aren't they? On stage, I suppose it's all about getting your voice to the person in the back row.
Projection.
Whereas, it's all projection, and it's unnatural, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're, doing this.
You can probably hear me now, that kind of thing. I'm probably still being a bit too loud.
But it's great. Whereas it comes to film is so more subtle, I suppose. So it picks up every little subtle.
So it's actually been I kind of really am happy that I started out with theatre, because it's kind of easier to go big and then learn how to kind of bring that all back, because all that theatre training is still relevant for film acting. It's less kind of big. It's more kind of in the white spaces. It's more on the subtle moments and subtle movements and expressions and
absolutely.
stuff. So it doesn't require you to completely throw out everything you knew before, but it's more just, I can use all the work and training I've done before and just use it in more of a confined place.
Tweak it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Another question here. Do you prefer working in theatre or on film? No, I'm only joking. Okay, so you mentioned training before.
Yeah.
You have had some training?
Yeah, so I was at a few different schools in Perth, most recently the Actors Hub at the time it was
I have heard about it. Yep.
So just a couple, I've done only a couple years of study. I kind of was at WAPA as well, just doing a bit of study there. And so for me, it's like I don't feel like at that time I didn't want to bog myself down in too much study. I kind of wanted to get out and do some actual acting and to get out there and in the industry, just try it out. But I am open to going back and learning again, and I'm always trying to learn a lot. Like at the moment, I'm actually doing a acting class that I started in Vancouver. I did a few weeks there with under Michael Sims, and he actually, when the lockdown happened, he started a Zoom class. So every week we get together and stuff like that. So everyone else is kind of actors in Vancouver and stuff like that, working away, and then I have to. They all call in at 6:30 on a Wednesday, and I call in at 9:30 on a Thursday morning.
Right.
So,
fantastic.
But it's a good way to kind of especially during the kind of more lockdown weeks and months, that kind of thing. It was nice to be able to work on something in those times where I didn't have anything to do.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. Just quickly, your favourite film?
Favourite film, I would say Inside Llewyn Davis, the Coen Brothers film with Oscar Isaac. Just a really great movie about artistry and about kind of the artist's struggle and how kind of it is real, but it's kind of comical. It's kind of ridiculous how people, artists can sometimes, trust their ego and pride a bit too much and not let themselves put themselves out there. So it's a really good movie to watch, to enjoy, but also a good one for me to learn.
Brilliant. I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking us to
Yes,
us. We're going to quickly go to... we're going to now stay tuned after this clip, because we're going to be playing a game called Reenactment for our guests here. Before that, we're going to... Now it's time to have we're going to play that game afterwards, but before that, we're going to go to a quick clip featuring the band. Thank you very much.
It started in a little shed up in Wollaston in the hills, where we used to jam with an old friend of mine called Tom, and we started doing Foo Fighter covers, and it sort of eventuated into originals. So Matt joined 3 years ago, shortly after our Sweet September single, and Andy joined us on drums about a year later. And ever since, it's been a really good fit, the three of us having a great time performing all through Perth, and really enjoying each other's company. We've evolved, we started off as a sort of Mumford & Sons type band. We were acoustic and solo guitars and whatnot, to becoming a really big stadium rock type, in-your-face rock and roll band. Released singles along the way between that time, but I think our sound at the moment is the best that we've ever sound.
We've got a bit of a funky kind of feel with that party rock sort of style meshed together, but I think the energy comes from Andy on the drums. Just so powerful, and I think we just enjoy it. I think it's just energy. I guess if you close your eyes, you'd probably feel like you were at a party somewhere and just around good people and good times, good vibes.
Where's our favourite place to play? I guess we were fortunate enough last year to play at Optus Stadium in the city. It's very, it's not too many people out there that can drive past the stadium and play. I've played an original show there, but we're also realistic to think that we're not going to always play there. For me personally, playing country shows in the rural parts of WA, you never know what to expect, and I've never played a show that I haven't enjoyed. I've really enjoyed the people out there. Some people drive 35 minutes to come to the pub because I heard there's a band on, and I really like that part of country life. So yeah, country venues.
Favourite place to play, I have to agree, probably the country shows. I think what draws me to playing music is just the way you can connect with people, and I'm a pretty sociable person, so country shows are wicked. Like, the people just love it, appreciate it. There's always usually a good after party on. where you can actually get to know them personally. And yeah, definitely country. I guess from a more sound-wise perspective, I like the indie bar gig. I reckon that was, you know, that was Andy's first show with us actually, and it just sounded unreal to me. That was probably the first time where I was like, we had a really good show and everything clicked nicely. So,
in terms of places in Perth, I really liked Lucy's when we played at Lucy's. It's very like, just the vibe of the venue just kind of suited our band really, I thought. And from all accounts we sounded pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to say Lucy's.
What do we think of the live music scene in Perth? I think it's pretty solid at the moment. It was the only music scene in the world that's still in operation. So, you know, some
COVID-19.
Yeah. So there's a lot of quality acts that we played with.
Definitely underrated, as Corey says. A lot of good bands here. I think it's fun. We like it. So
Yeah, there's a lot of good local Perth bands, and you know, I can't see it slowing down anytime soon.
We've done the one EP, 2015, so it feels like a lifetime ago. And the EP that we released then is going to sound completely different to our new EP. It's a new sound for us. It's rockin'. It's got a lot of elements, loud drums, catchy bass, big choruses.
I think we're quite different to all the other bands we're playing with at the moment, which is, I suppose, is good for us. That I think if we weren't all as good a mates as we are, it definitely wouldn't be the same. So I think that's good, and that's what makes us and our sound pretty unique. And as I said, I think that's why our songwriting process comes together the way it does as well. It's just three mates getting together, having a laugh, and stuff comes to life, I guess.
Things that you actually want to hear. If you're interested, we've got shirts and hats at the front. I reckon you can always dance yourself into one.
Actually, the first album I ever, well, I don't know if I brought it, but I got it as part of a Christmas present, was S Club 7. Yeah?
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And welcome back. Now, that little clip there was of the Silent Deeds, and we will be seeing them a little bit later as well. Now, it's game show time. Like I mentioned before, we have a game coming up now that we like to call reenactment. Let me explain the rules. Would you like to know the rules?
Right.
Okay, so the rules are, what I will be doing is I'll be holding up some of these signs, and what these signs have on them are well-known films.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold them up. I'll give you a moment to talk about it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take my trusty little stopwatch here.
Okay.
And I'm going to time you for 15 seconds. And you've got to reenact a scene out of the movie.
All right.
Which is good because I'll give you time to actually talk about a scene that you want to. And then we'll run it for 15 seconds and we'll see how we go.
And we'll test our acting skills.
We're going to test out your acting skills. So, I mean, let's say if I said Jaws, obviously, you guys would think of something to do with shark teeth or however.
We're in a bigger boat.
That's right. You know, Daniel could be the shark and you could be standing on top of the shark or something like that. We can work it out. So, do you guys get that one?
We got it.
Yep. Okay. Are we ready to play?
Ready?
Yep.
Ready.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Now, I'm going to shuffle these.
Okay. Not looking.
There we go. All right. That's an obvious one to start with. Okay. Let's go with. Straight back to where I started.
Okay.
So what we have here is the Karate Kid. So when you guys have discussed it, you let me know, and I will time you, and we'll see how we go.
Okay. Very cool.
Keep discussions going on over there.
Okay.
You're welcome to stand up if you like, or you can stay where you are. It's
Okay,
not a
sure,
problem.
stand.
Okay, you let me know when you're ready, and I'll.
Okay, we're ready.
Ready?
Go.
Go.
Danielson, wax on. Wax off. Wax on. Wax off. Is that all we got?
I think that's all we got.
It's
In
not
a bit.
15 seconds yet, but even if it was, I was going to let it go because I was enjoying that.
You're enjoying
It's like
our
I'm just
acting
sitting here
skills.
watching a movie.
I've seen the movie.
Oh, that's 21 seconds. Well done. Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Now, the next film. Let's have a look at this one here. The next film will be, once my hands start working, Forrest Gump.
Sit down and then.
Those must be comfortable shoes.
Hang on, I've got to do the stopwatch. Are you ready?
Jump the gun.
Okay, are you ready? Oh, hang on, let me reset the stopwatch. And go.
Those must be comfortable shoes.
Why, yes, they are.
Mom always said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Excellent.
Remember the end of
And that's 15 seconds. Well done.
Doesn't say anything. I can't remember.
It's not easy when you. It's not easy when you're thrown into the
Deep end?
deep end like that. I was looking for a word. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
We have Dumb and Dumber, which
Yeah,
is
never
a
mind. Yeah, okay.
well-known Jim Carrey, and I forget the other guy's name.
Daniels.
Jeff Daniels, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, are
Go.
you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, hang on, let me reset the stopwatch and go.
Mark,
Yeah,
Ing,
yeah,
Bird,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Mocking,
Yeah.
Bird.
No, keep going. No, that's all. Okay, well done. Excellent work. Well done. That's
Thank
the last
you.
one there.
Go.
Thank you
How
very
about-
much for
Go
doing
away.
that. Thanks for taking the time out to do that. Okay, now, thank you so much to Jodee and Daniel for joining us on the couch here today.
Thanks for
It's been an
having us.
absolute pleasure talking to
Thank
you.
you.
It is always interesting to find out what people are doing in Perth as far as us artists and actors and musicians and everything like that. So it's been fantastic. Okay, now, that's it for us. But before we go, we'd like to present to you the Silent Deeds, who will be performing their live track, Come Alive. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode. Please enjoy the Silent Deeds.
Monday morning, get out from out of bed with a hangover and a banging in my head. Still I look down deep on my soul. Can't look free, better get up and go. Tuesday afternoon and I'm feeling dead. Boss man's got me feeling so upset. Still I look down deep on my soul. Call my friends here, racing up. Come alive, come alive. Come alive at night. Come alive, come alive. Come alive at night. Thursday morning coming around again. Thursday night staying up on the meds. Still I look down deep on my soul. Can't look free, better get up and go. Friday afternoon and I'm near the end. Leave it all behind just to go again. Still I look down on the back of my soul. Call my friends here ready to go. Come alive, come alive. Come alive at night. Come alive, come alive. Come alive at night.
Thank you to the Silent Deeds, and thank you to my two guests, Jodee and Daniel. Of course, we were signing off now, but I didn't get to reenact a favourite scene out of one of my favourite movies. So I'm going to do that now. And Daniel, can I please borrow you for a second? Could you stand just behind me here, please? And just hold me there like that. The movie is, of course, Titanic. I'm the king of the world!